Let me tell you a story. It's about a forgotten warrior queen. Millions of years ago, before the age of dinosaurs, and before humanity, Earth was a younger sister to planet Mars. Mars was the first planet in this system to hold a civilization known as Egypt. Mars was quite different than it is today. Now it is just some rock made of dust. But before, long before humanity and the first civilizations on Earth, Mars was abundant, fantastic. Mars had mountains, flowing rivers, oceans. Mars had seasons, snow in the high mountain tops, heat in the dry deserts, had jungles, had islands, had vibrant forests, the rolling hills of green, had beaches of white sand and near turquoise waters. There are waterfalls, ginormous, larger than any waterfall found on planet Earth. And humanity was different. Humanity on Mars evolved through the stars of Orion's belt in collaboration with Pleiades, with Lyra and the Vega star and Sirius A and B. All of these beings came together in council and they founded Mars. They engineered this system to support life on Mars and Earth. Egypt on Mars, similar to Egypt in Africa on planet Earth, was the civilization that evolved beyond the 3 dimensions we know. They had knowledge on interstellar travel, transdimensional travel, had technologies that can be excavated in the pre-dynastic Egypt of Africa. Technologies that would be foundation for Lemuria and Atlantis on planet Earth, and many advanced civilizations that would come and go on planet Earth throughout many thousands, millions of years. Mars was an older sister that taught Earth how to spiritually evolve, so much so that you can experience creativity of real excellence. There were many warrior queens in Egypt of Mars. Mars at this time was led by a matriarchal society that trained men to be warriors, protectors, guardians, and trained women to be the creative genius behind economy, ideology, philosophy, morals, reason, and enlightenment. This warrior queen, her skin was black, like tree bark. Her hair was long, like a Native American black, that she would braid down her spine that would near go to the backs of her knees. Her cheeks were red. Her eyes were large like women of the Middle East. Brown eyes, so alluring, so magnetic. You could capture the lineage through the eyes. She was a part of a very strong lineage of women. More than 22 generations of women have led on Mars and experienced the many battles that took place on Mars. What kind of battles were going on? The final battle that brought the first civilization on planet Earth, that brought the Egyptians to Earth, was the battle that destroyed the electromagnetic field of Mars. Over many thousands of years, there has been a battle, a spiritual warfare. There are the original leaders that are being challenged by leaders that wish to recreate the Merkaba of Mars. The Merkaba of Mars was originally created by the warrior queen's lineage, known as the Isis lineage. But these new leaders found Mars to be quite exceptional. They traveled far from deep space, beyond this galaxy. Mars and Earth, the sister planets, and the residents, the advanced beings that have obtained enlightenment, self-mastery, had a power, a spiritual power, a knowledge that was quite exceptional. And these new leaders, they learned the ways of the Isis lineage, of the Matriarchs. And eventually they wanted to break down the system that they created and create their own. And that was the great battle. The battle between the leaders. One preferred to continue the original Merkaba, which is about liberation. A civilization that liberates its people, and the new leaders wanted to deconstruct and recreate the Merkaba so that it would be more entrapping, more like a slave system. The warrior queen did not participate in nuclear, but there came a time when nuclear occurred. Many of her people died. And she, being the last one of her lineage to survive, she led a colony to Earth. And this would become the first colony on planet Earth that would become the creative renaissance that would generate enough energy, enough excellence and brilliance to exalt the Merkaba of Earth, to spin it into a planet that can inhabit human life. In Africa, the warrior queen was seen as a great leader who led her people to new lands, off-world lands, lands that have not been colonized. The earth itself was not yet terraformed to support the new life, the new civilization. But she, being a great elder, even though she was very young, to make peace with the other leaders, she married a man who would later betray her. And instead of creating a Merkaba of liberation, there was another system created within the Earth's north and south poles. It was the slave system, secretly organized and created without the warrior queen's permission, and would not be activated until the time came. The warrior queen brought all of the knowledge of Mars to Africa, to Egypt, that would create the tribes of Africa, going into the Middle East. As many beings of Mars took residence on Earth, escaping the electromagnetic poisoning that happened when toxins of space were dumping into the Mars's atmosphere, poisoning Mars. She was cherished as a princess, being so young, only 25 years old, and leading people courageously to Earth, and having the knowledge of how to terraform Earth, how to alter Earth, how to modify Earth. She gave way for Earth to experience many future golden ages, many future advanced civilizations. But she did not know that the man she married, a leader to a foreign group who sought knowledge and power, wanted to go against all of her manifestations to manifest a slave system that would utilize the life force of all the beings into their obsession with power. with knowledge, with wisdom. The warrior queen, she was derobed when the time came. See, she lived a very long time. Very long time. And her children, she moved through them as an ancestor, as a being of light, as the mother of all mothers. And a time came when the slave system was activated. And her children's children, the last warrior queen of the matriarchal age, would be derobed, derobing all the matriarchs on planet Earth, all of them, deconstructing centuries, thousands of years of merit, of craftsmanship, of creativity, of advanced technology. When the slave system was activated, the new leaders were already prepared, ready to take the throne. They would be known as the patriarchal leaders that would create a very different Egypt. Egypt that would abide by the slave system. The last warrior queen of planet Earth sent her child, a girl, in a time where all girls were being abolished. All girls belonging to the matriarchal leaders were being taken and being placed in foreign lands controlled by patriarchal leaders. But somehow the last warrior queen was able to secretly give birth to a baby girl that she would send into the future, in a time when the original Merkaba of Earth and Mars could be reawakened again, when Mars was healed and Earth would be ready for such a leader again, once more. The last warrior queen was killed by a patriarchal leader because she refused to give her power, to give her pineal gland to the patriarch. Everyone had to give their pineal gland to the patriarchal age, which is giving gifts and talents of the soul, dulling the human, damaging the Merkaba of all the human beings. This little warrior queen was sent to a time known as 2030, where she would grow up in a time where the patriarchal age is collapsing. There's much uncertainty. There's much suffering and trauma due to the dark age and thousands of years of slave systematic hold on human beings. And she would grow up as an average child, a child to a farmer in a time when farming, gardening, growing in general was almost near forgotten. There was much pollution, chemicals, there was much mutation, and Earth itself was experiencing difficulty trying to neutralize all of the human destruction. But Earth is resilient, and Earth finds a way to neutralize all human destruction, waste, pollution, negativity, conflict, even wars. And this average girl living in the farmlands of Tennessee would have dreams, lucid dreams of Mars, lucid dreams of a time on Earth far beyond her wildest imagination. She would have dreams of Atlantis, of Lemuria, of Egypt on Mars. Would have dreams of Pleiades and Orion and the Anunnaki. She would have feelings of being watched. And when she started to develop her psychic gifts, when she met a shaman hidden in plain sight within the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, she began to realize that she had an Anunnaki guardian, a protector, that traveled with her through the last portal from the matriarchal age into 2030, thousands upon thousands of years in the future. As she began to advance her lucid dreaming techniques and skills, she started to understand what was going on and how she would be the first leader, not to a matriarchal age, but to the harmony between the matriarch and the patriarch, something that has never been seen millions of years in this system. She, the princess, a warrior princess, would come together with a man and she would create with this man a bridge from the patriarchal dark age full of destruction, civil war, waste, irresponsibility, spiritual damage, to the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension that would be a place where all human beings can gain the tools created by the original leaders to reawaken the original Merkaba, one of liberation, and free the minds and souls of those trapped on earth, trapped in a slave system that has everybody reincarnating again and again and again, losing their power, giving away their power to patriarchal leaders that use that power to generate their own, to make themselves the biggest wisdom holder in all the cosmos. This warrior queen princess of a patriarchal age, 2030. She would find this man to be very arrogant, very selfish, very lost soul. And she distasted him. She didn't like him. But she knew that a part of her mission would to be awaken this man. She thought, how can I awaken such a man? But she knew if she awakened this man and restored the original Merkaba within him, that they would be the start of a new movement. She did not awaken him through her beauty. She awakened him through his remembrance of her, the past lives he's had with her, the love that he shares with her. And he started to gradually awaken to the reality of Earth and Mars. This man was quite powerful, being one of the first individuals to bring spaceships to Mars. But he was being spiritually attacked by those that wanted to lead him into a way of life on Mars that would be another slave system. But she being the key to his heart, they would create with the architectural engineering expertise of himself and the mediumship, the psychic gifts, and the esoterics of herself together would create a new Merkaba on Earth. A Merkaba that would restore balance on planet Earth and give Earth more energy to heal, and that would terraform Mars in the beginning stages. But more importantly, this new Merkaba that they would create on Earth would liberate the human beings and bring them out of the entrapment and bring them into the resurrection of the enlightened civilization that would bring all of the warring leaders and all of the conflict and all of the past karmas that repeat on Earth from Mars. It would bring human beings into advanced civilization where the patriarch and the matriarch, leaders of different origination, leaders of different minds, would be so empowered by the creative renaissance that any leaders of destruction would be relinquished and would be completely removed from the system of Mars and Earth indefinitely. Because once the empowerment of human beings is restored and everyone awakens to the knowledge of their creativity, in a matter of generations, in a matter of centuries, anything that wishes to enslave the people would not have any influence. It's like a virus. And the warrior queen, now just a princess, would be the Merkaba that is the cure.